Hey everybody, welcome to tonight's pour. Tonight's pour is going to be a Dutch pour and it's going to have a Hot Wheels on it. So I decided to go with a 69 Corvette. This one is red, white, and blue. Those are not going to be all the colors I'm going to be using. I'm only going to be using white and Prussian blue. Now, the reason I want to use Prussian blue is because I like working with it, mixing it with some white. Now, when I say mixing, I don't mean like putting the Prussian blue in, then putting white in and stirring and mixing. No, I'm talking about doing a Dutch pour with white negative space with the Prussian blue in a pattern and then blowing it out, and that white and blue will mix and come up with some great blue colors in it. Prussian blue is a very dark blue. As you can see, this is the Prussian blue. And as you can see, this is black on top and then blue, so it's very dark blue. But when it gets with that white, it'll make some, I don't know how many different colors of blue it's going to end up making, but it will make more than one color of blue. So I've already got my paints mixed, and the white I'm using is Artist Loft White right there. So those are the two colors I'm going to be using. I may throw a little red in there if I don't like how it's coming out. I might throw a little bit of red because there is some red in the car. Might just a little spot just so there's something a little bit red in there. But no, it may not happen. We'll have to see how it turns out. Because you can really, there's some pours you do when you just know, oh, that's it. Don't touch it. And then there's some that like, it needs something. So we'll see how it turns out. If it needs something, I will put some red in it. So let's see. So I've got the paints mixed, and all we have to do is reset the camera, and it will start on our pour, and we'll see if we're gonna add some red. All right, as you can see, I've already got the white paint down, and I torched it to get the air bubbles out of it. So I'm ready to put my Prussian blue down, and then we can blow it out. So normally I usually go like just kind of go out and then I blow it out. This one I think I'm going to start here and kind of go on a pattern. I'm going to start up here quite a ways. We can pour some blue around there, or white around the blue. All right, as you can see, there's multiple colors of blue. You got really dark right there, a little bit lighter, 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 lighter. This is a nice color of blue around here. But I think we're gonna have to put a little bit in there, a little bit in here. Get the straw to blow some stuff around. I know it's kind of busy, but I think I am going to add just a little bit of red in there. Kind of just right down here. So we'll have the car right here, like that. And I'm just gonna make a few adjustments here. Alrighty. All right. think I'll leave it at that, and got a pretty decent piece. When this dries, we'll get the resin on it and get the car placed on it, and it should look pretty good. All right, so this is dried, and I really love how it turned out. It's got a lot of movement in it, which is what I love, and then the dark blues, the light blues, and again, it was only using Prussian blue that created all these different colors of blue in here with the mixing with the white, and then just that little accent of red. It was probably a little bit more red than I was actually thinking, but I still like how it did. And then I kind of put the flame effects on that to kind of give it a flame look. And we have our car, which I'm probably going to set about right there. So that's how it'll look. So I have Pro Marine resin, 7 ounces total, 3.5 the hardener, 3.5 the epoxy for a 10 by 20 canvas. And as I say in almost all my videos, you can find that how much resin you need on a canvas that you're gonna resin. I use Art Resin Calculator website, Art Resin Calculator. I don't know if it's actually called Art Resin Calculator, if it's just Art Resin. But if you type in Art Resin Calculator, that will pop up, and you can use that. You just type in the size of your canvas, and it'll tell you how many ounces, total ounces that is, of resin that you will need for that size of canvas. And it does, sometimes you know, when you first start using it, it's like, I don't know if that's enough resin. Yeah, it is. So what I do is I wear a rubber glove, pour it on, and then just cover the painting in resin. And then you torch it, torch it, torch it, torch it. Because you want all those air bubbles out that you get from mixing. Because when you mix resin, you have to measure them out, each part equally, 3.5. Like I said, for this is 7 ounces, 3.5 the epoxy and 3.5 the resin, or hardener, excuse me. And then you have to mix that together. And I usually mix for a couple minutes. They might have instructions in the kit telling you how many minutes you need to stir your resin, mix it. I've done enough that I know when it's mixed well enough that I don't need to really mix it anymore. You just want to make sure it's mixed. I think that's why they have you do it for so long, because they really want you to, it really needs to be mixed equally. So So again, you need to torch it to get these air bubbles out, because it does create a lot of air bubbles when you're stirring it. And I like to get I have a nice lamp that it's kind of wide strip, and so it can shine across quite a bit of the canvas, and I get it to where it's glaring off, so then you can really see the air bubbles when that light hits that across that canvas, and you can see them popping when you're doing this. And that's what you want to see. You want to go till you don't see any more popping, and you know you got all the air bubbles out. And I was actually talking about that tonight with a lady that she's actually the one that talked to me about teaching the fluid acrylic classes at the Gilded Nest. It was about a year ago, almost a year ago, and she teaches watercolor paints there, and she's been getting into a little bit of the fluid acrylics. And I actually got off work tonight a little early than I thought. My wife's car in the shop, so I drove her into work this morning. So I had to go pick her up so she could go get the car. And I had about an hour and a half to kill before she was done. And so I did a few things, but an hour and a half is a long time for me to kill sometimes. And so there was some stuff going on downtown where I work. And it is right. And then the lady, I popped up Facebook and she was posting a video, and she was at the Gilded Nest, and she was painting, and they were having some other stuff in downtown, because it's right downtown. And my wife's salon that she works at is downtown, right across the street, pretty much from the Gilded Nest. And so I decided I'd go down there and hang out with those ladies, and they're really nice ladies, and I could talk to them and kill some time waiting on my wife. And then she just has to walk across the street when she's done working. And the lady, she was painting. She was actually doing some fluid acrylic painting, and she was doing something I haven't tried, and we've talked about doing a pour together to help her. She loves horses, and she wants to do a pour. I think at least the head of the horse is going to be a pour, and the rest is going to be just a regular painting. And so we're talking about doing that. But she was doing seahorses tonight. She had painted the background and it dried, and then she did a chalk outline of a seahorse, and then she poured the pour in there and blew it out with straw out to the lines, and they turned out pretty good. So I was down there with her, and we were talking about resin, because she's never resined. And when we do the horse painting, she wants it resined. And so I was telling her some tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, but I will definitely help her with that. So here we go. We got this car. We're going to set it right in there. And there you go. It's that simple to place that in there. All right. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any comments for me, please leave a comment. I'm seeing a few bubbles right on the edge. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It's growing, and we want to get more people out there to do some styles of paintings like these. I see them every once in a while online, and it's exciting. So hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.